So in this video, we will set up some foliage, like grass, and from an atlas. So you need a Quixel bridge and log in with your Epic Games account, and not the one inside of Unreal Engine, but the actual app to get the atlas types here. And also set that up in a 3D software where you can edit UVs. I'm using Houdini, but it will work in Maya or Blender or whatever. And then we will create a mesh of that, something like this, and also make a foliage type so we can paint it out. In the later videos, I will go how I set up the motion and all that, but we'll start simple. All right, let's go. So first of all, I will go into the Quixel Bridge app and go to types here and choose atlases. And I will choose something cool here. I think I'll go with grass. Alright, so I'll try this one called Dallas Grass. And download it. Check my download library path. Alright. And I will jump into my 3D app, which is Houdini. I will start by creating a grid plane from to display the reference texture called ref. And I will make it a standing plane, so that is XY. I will also make it like 1.5 meter. Okay, so 0.5 and 0.5. And I will stand it up on the ground plane, which will be 0.25. I will do a quick UV project like that, and I will do a quick material to get the texture on. So the quick material is from the labs tools, so you need to have that installed. You can just install it from here. Base color texture. So now I'm in the Megascans library, downloaded, Atlas, and all these. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay. So next step, I will create a new object, new grid. Actually, I will copy this guy. Save 10 seconds. It was called Dallas Grass. Jump inside. Save these guys for later. Make sure you show all objects. I will go back up here into my grid object, and I will start shaping these guys to match the different grasses. So I will cut this guy. So, and I don't need all these columns. So this is what I'm working on. Just sides. I'll keep some rows. Take it down like this. Press select this one, press enter, and you can adjust it in the viewport. So now I'll turn on show all objects. Quickly jump back here, set the quick mark with Ctrl 1, and I will remove all the sections to get rid of the grid. Up, down, quick mark. That way I can switch between the two places, just pressing 1 and 2 on the keyboard. Anyway, first grid. So, something like this. Next one, like that. Yeah, I'll show you the first one, then I will speed up the video. Alright, so the first one, I will go edit and S to select, 2 for points, T to transform or translate, and I will just kind of match the shape. It's not crucial. Oops. You don't need to be exact, but smallest possible shape without like intersecting the texture, and that will make it render a little bit faster because it will be less overdraw. All right, so something like that. Alright, so when you're happy with this, we're gonna give these guys a variant attribute to be able to sort them later. Create attribute, calling it variant, and it's gonna be a integer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like so. And then I will merge all of them. So first of all, I will take this UV project that we had, paste it here, and make sure that it matches. So now we turn off other objects, and we also add the quick material. And we can tell that it's working, so they're all in the correct space. So next step is to move them all down to sit on the center of the world. So another edit node. H to select the whole patch. Or press M to use the world coordinates. Alright, so now I'm done with the initial grasses. I'll place a null here. Next step is to create a grid mesh or something, and scatter a bunch of points to place these guys on. And I will use a circle. And I will place it on the CX plane. Scale it down a bit. And actually rotate it 180 degrees. I will scatter the points. I use the scatter and align SOP to be able to get the orient attribute. I don't want relax iterations. They can be kind of random. Place a null, and I will do copy to points. Meshes first, points second, and they're super tiny. So let's start with a attributes p scale. Let's create a random attribute randomize here. Attribute randomize, and we'll do a float p scale. Mean value 0.5, max value 1. Let's take down the points a bit. Like that. So, and also you can see this is all, I think it's taking the whole thing here. So we need to add the variant attribute to the points too. So I'll take another attribute randomize, and we'll do variant. Also activate piece attribute variant here. Max value was 6. uniform discrete, meaning whole numbers, max value 6, 1 dimension. I haven't figured out how to make this guy an integer except for creating the attribute beforehand. So create attribute and create the variant, set it to integer, and now we're on it. So next step is they're all facing forward, and that's where we're using the scatter and align. Orientation, max random in cone, this is the kind of spread here, and this is the rotation, so let's go all the way to 360 here. Now we can add some more points. Something like that, maybe. Looks good. So let's go a bit crazy with the P scale here. Alright, it doesn't look super good in here, but it looks a lot better inside Unreal. So another thing I like to do, kind of pulling the points towards the center, and it's not necessary really, but I like it. So I'm doing that with a few lines of code in a point triangle here. Center pull. And the way I do that is I get the normalized direction from the center, or like a vector, point vector, and the magnitude, and then I do a exponential function on the distance and apply it back on. So first one, vector normalized position and pos equals normalize, and v at p is the like standard normalize, and a float for the magnitude, mag, and that would be the length of the position vector, and I get the exponent here. So that would be a slider, it can be channel float, and I'll call it exponent, for instance, or power. And it will need a name, so pow. And then I will set the position back, so v at p equals n pos times pow, the power of mag to the power of pow. All right, like that, and create the attribute here. So at 0 it will be all spread out, but gonna pull it into the center. This way one can also have a much larger area here, and then do a center pull to get some stray grasses on the side. I like that. So I'm happy with this guy. Let's export it. Render operator fbx, place it in a nice directory, accept, save it to disk, and then we'll jump into Unreal. And I'll make a new folder, and I will call it same name, grass Dallas 1, and I will import the mesh. Let's go with the textures first here. Albedo, AO, not using that currently, but I'll take it anyway. Norm map, opacity, roughness, translucency, translate to subsurface color. I don't need the preview. All right. And let's go find the mesh. Grass Dallas. And here it's not a skeletal. I don't need collision. I don't want collision. Static mesh group. If I have vertex colors, I want to use them, so I use replace here. Don't create materials. Scale 100 if I work in meters in Houdini. Alright, so import. Alright, I always do this, no normals. So I will just place a normal here. And I would save the disk again. And I would go here and right click, re-import, and now I have normals. And it looks like this. So next step is to set up the material, of course. Grass Dallis, material, Grass Dallis, and I will assign that. I'll actually make a material instance. I always do that. So assign that, jump into the material, untab it, just to be able to drag all these textures inside. I won't use the AO now. So albedo texture, base color, normal texture, opacity, roughness, and translucency. Drag that into the material, open it up, and subsurface color, base color, normal, roughness only needs the red channel because the scalar value, float value. Same with opacity, and I will use opacity mask. The difference between opacity mask and opacity is that all pixels are either completely visible or completely hidden with opacity mask, so it is a cutout, so to speak. And it's when you do that, you don't have to think about the sorting order, because transparent objects need to be rendered in the right order to look good. So opacity mask, since you have like completely opaque or like visible pixels, it will not render the pixel behind it, which solves a lot of translucency related problems. Alright, so here we are. It's not opaque here. It's completely opaque here. So first of all, grab the material node and go into blend mode in the details panel and choose masked. And now you get the kind of grasses cut out. And also the shading model will be two-sided foliage. And then we also have to check, of course, the two-sided here. So save it. And it actually looks pretty good. Let's go into the scene. Place it in a level. And let's try and paint it out. So to paint out foliage, we have the foliage painter, which is available here under the, we see select mode. Also have landscape and other stuff here. So foliage, also shift 3. And just drag the mesh up here, and it will ask you for location to save the foliage type asset. And I will save it in the foliage map here, and I will use the default name. And so now I will uncheck these other guys, and I will also decrease the size of the brush. I'm in erase, so paint, and here we are. Also, I want to vary the size out here. And how I do that, if I already painted and I'm happy with the placements, I can use the reapply brush to change settings afterwards. So 0.5 to 1.3 or 4. And I want some more density. I think it looks okay for now. There's a lot of stuff we can do to make it look better. We could use like a world space texture or function to vary the color over larger areas. Of course, we can use this kind of vertex shader, world position offset shader to make it sway in the wind. Okay, so it's a lot of fun to go ahead and you can paint multiple foliage types at the same time, which makes it you can really like paint a forest. Alright, so in the next video I'll go over how to make LODs, like low poly versions of this, to be able to paint over large landscapes without bogging down the system. So stay tuned and see you soon. Ciao.